Hello everyone. Yes, it was a poor result yesterday against Fulham, and a lot of people are not happy. So I'm going to do a match reaction and just let you know what's happened during the game and outside of the social medias as well. So let's talk about this. Let's do this, people. Let's do this.
Hello everyone, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily contents.
Yes, people, welcome to LFC Red Forever channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please do that for us. We have hit the 500 mark, but you never know, it might drop out and drop back in again, like to 400 and then 500 again. So you don't know how it's going to be, but yeah, please hit that subscription button, notification button, the like button, and yeah, the watch alongs are back, the news updates are back, the breaking news is back, and you know, regular match reaction is back as well. So we're gonna try and get the chat shows back as well. I've got a few people, new people that's gonna be coming on hopefully once I start doing it again, and you know, it needs a refresh, if you know what I mean. Don't get me wrong, the people that used to do it with me before was out of this world. They were fantastic, but you know, as the channel moves on, we've got to like refresh as well. So yeah, you're gonna get a lot of that. So we're gonna be talking about obviously Fulham versus Liverpool Football Club in the Premier League, which ended up 2-2, and it wasn't a great match to watch. If you're a Liverpool fan, if you're a neutral, yes it is, but even if you're a Fulham fan, yes it is for you as well. But it's the way we started the game, people. It was just like nerves, and we was just all over the place. We wasn't like thinking straight. We couldn't even pass 2 yards to each other. That's what I said during pre-season. I said we got to sort out passing out this season, because every season we improve in one thing. So this season I'm expecting us to improve on our passing ability, but we just can't do it. We just can't do it for some reason, and we struggle so badly along the way as well. What's beneficial about the game? Maybe Darwin Núñez coming on and changing the whole game as he did in the Community Shield, and you know, a few pre-season games. You know, a lot of people were having a go at the management team. Why are you buying this player? He can't control a ball. That's the basics of football. You can learn that along the way, especially when you're only 22, 23 years old. So if you have the other stuff already there, if you know what I mean, that's an easy thing to resolve, like passing a ball, holding up play, and you know, just having all that around your actual physical capability. So he's improving, in my opinion, and you know, his pace is becoming dangerous. He's scoring every time he plays. So I don't know what more they need from this player. Like, all those doubters probably now are believers, as Klopp said before. But during the game, I was really upset, people. If you look at my watch along in the previous, obviously, stream to this one, it was just, it's like watching a different team. Like, how are we nervous against teams like Fulham when we compete against Real Madrid's of this world, and you know, Chelsea's and Manchester City's, and you know, Man United's and all that stuff. You know, Man United's not as good as they used to be, but I'm just saying in general, how do we compete with these lower teams like this? It's like they showed up and they were physical throughout the game, and we just got scared. And I've talked about the physicality of our team in the past, and it hasn't improved, as you could see yesterday. It was appalling. As soon as the team puts it on us, we just we just step back and let them like do it to us. That's what I don't understand, and that's another thing we need to improve on as well. teams are willing to sacrifice a yellow card in order to stop a goal going in. We don't do that. We just let them, you know, go through, score the goal if you can, because we've got big Allison at the back who didn't even play well, by the way, as well. He's just come back to the team. I think it was too soon for him. He should just like gradually come back. Adrian was doing all right at the time as well, but it's just from the goalkeeper, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk. I don't think Matip was that bad, but moments he did make mistakes. Van Dijk was awful in the game. You got to be realistic here, people. The way he, you know, played yesterday was not like Van Dijk. His passing ability, his ball retention, everything, like it wasn't like Van Dijk yesterday. Robertson was all over the place, and he needs to like really think about his role in the team in regards to defending, because you look at the Champions League final, he strayed and they scored from that. Yesterday he strayed, actually he didn't even try to stop the cross and they crossed it into the far post and scored. You know, Trent, everybody knows his defensive capabilities ain't all that. I try to defend it as much as possible with him, but it's awful, man. That goal, we'll start with the first goal. The way they went down the right hand side and the byline past Robertson was unacceptable. He needs to sort himself out, and he needs to throw his body at certain situations. And what they done is go by the byline and cross it into the far post. Mitrovic was waiting alongside Trent like everybody else does. Everybody knows last season what issues we had when the ball was crossed in was the far post against Trent, and everybody seen that Brentford game. That's how they beat Trent to get those 3 goals. So it was crossed in. Trent, I don't know what he does at the far post, because he always gets beat by someone. What he needs to do is either try jump ahead of the guy before he jumps so he could distract him, or put your head where it hurts. You got enough cushion with that dreadlocks you're having now to not worry if you're hurting yourself, because that's what I think, man. They worry about hurting themselves. So it was awful, man. Awful defending, and you can't defend when people already criticize players for that reason, like Trent, his defensive side. And I couldn't defend him yesterday. He was just awful all around. 38 touches in the whole game. You know what I mean? And he's supposed to be one of the creative players in the team. Yes, he created a goal, but we expect more from our right back as well. I mean, your first objectives is defending. If you can't do that, then we got a problem. You know what I mean? So yeah, he needs to like look into that side of things, because it's becoming too common. It's a regular occurrence. That's what I meant to say. It's a regular occurrence with Trent getting beat in the far post, and he either needs to toughen up, because he looks like he put on some muscles. But where's that gonna take you if you're not even winning your battles on the pitch? You know what I mean? And then you got the second goal. Matip goes astray, and Mitrovic is like 2-on-1 with Van Dijk and Trent. Van Dijk decided to put his leg there, unlike him as well. He probably did that once in his career at Liverpool. I think it was against Sane when they missed that penalty a couple of seasons ago. And then like Mitrovic, he touched Mitrovic. Any contact, even if it's minimal, it's gonna be a penalty in that box. And he fell to the floor. I mean, it wasn't like a contact that could bring anyone down like Mitrovic's size. But listen, any opportunities, Liverpool do the same. Any opportunities, and then he took it and fell down to the floor. Got the penalty, scored. And like, they were 2-1 up. I'm thinking to myself, like, is this gonna be one of those games we're gonna be like struggling in throughout and probably get a loss? But we didn't. We came back. Nunes came on and scored the goal, obviously by obviously Mo Salah assisting him. He done a back heel in the beginning. He missed that one. He done it again. This time he scored. I think he took a deflection though, and then the ball came up again. I think it was from Trent, and Nunes controlled it. He tried to control it, but it fell to Salah. And you know, Salah is always a poacher. That it just comes out of nowhere and then just places it in the back of the net. So that was 2-2. The game was going. As Fulham was tiring, Henderson took a shot from edge of the box, hit the crossbar. It was just not our day for some reason, but at least we got a draw and we didn't lose. That's the most important thing. A loss is very, you know, bad if we had that, especially against a lower side team. But we've got to improve, people. Like, we've got Crystal Palace next. We've got to improve, and these are experienced players who are born winners as well. So they need to like wake up to reality. Are you here to challenge for the Premier League, or are you here just to make up the numbers? I don't want to be second place again, people. Like, it's becoming boring with this stuff, and we need to make signings, because Thiago actually came off in that game with a hamstring injury. You can't rely on injury-prone players. As I said in the past, it will hamper your season, and if we're going to be trusting like players who are injury-prone on a regular basis, it will actually affect our season, and that's what we don't want. I think there's going to be a signing coming soon. I think it's going to be a big signing, and it's going to be blustering that team and that midfield as well. We need a consistent midfielder like Ronaldo. That's what we need. Not with the same quality, maybe with more quality than Ronaldo, but he has to stay fit throughout the season, if you know what I mean. And that's what we're looking for. A lot of those players didn't come out of the pitch yesterday with any flying colours. Only Nunez I could probably name, and Salah, obviously, in the last 20 minutes, I think he was fantastic. But other than that, majority of the players, from the goalkeeper to defence to midfield, I can't give them any credit. Diaz needs to sort himself out, because we expect him to score goals as well as create goals and get past players. He didn't do that yesterday. Henderson is getting ridiculed by the Liverpool fans. Everybody's turning on him. I don't know what they've seen in the past. I just see the same Henderson who misplaced passes, who regains possession. That's what I see when I look at Henderson. I don't see anything changed than the years, and I don't know what they're expecting. If they're expecting a world beater, the guy who's going to take on players and create goals on a regular basis, and you know, that's not going to happen. And sometimes you got to avoid things like that in order to keep the squad morale together, and that's what Henderson does. He keeps everyone together. He might not be the most talented player on the pitch, but he's an athlete, and with his running ability, with his ball retention, he shows the rest of the team that you know, you got to keep your feet grounded and work as one, and that's what he brings. You know what I mean? I don't know what these other fans want from him. At the end of the day, he's only showing what he's been showing for years, and you can't get players like that in the other teams, if you know what I mean. And it's just a rare thing. If you want to get a world beater, look at Pogba at Manchester United. He was, you know, the 90 million pounds buy. And he's a world beater. Did it work out? No, because he's not humble enough and willing to work for the team. But Henderson he might be less talented. Well, he is less talented than Pogba, but he gives you 100% in his like skill of football, which is running, ball retention, and you know, making the team like be as one throughout the game, if you know what I mean. And that's what he gives you. But we need to be careful what we do, because I heard yesterday a lot of Klopp outs because he's not buying players. And you know, we're gonna walk out in a certain minute of a game. It's just silly things that people are saying, and it's really annoying me, because at the end of the day, before Klopp came, we was nowhere. We was under Brendan Rodgers buying the likes of Lambert, you know what I mean, and you know, players like that. And we haven't won any cups since Kenny Dalglish in the League Cup, and we haven't won the league since Kenny Dalglish 30 years prior. You know what I mean? So I don't know what people want. I honestly don't know what people want. Like, if someone gave you all those trophies in the 7 years of Klopp being here, would you take it? That's the question I ask everyone. I put it in the comment section. I would, because we was nowhere. There was no way we was gonna win the Champions League, ever gonna win the Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup, Super Cup, FIFA World Club Cup. No way. At that time, the way we looked, we was like a mid-table team at best, and this guy brought us from nowhere. But what people need to understand as well, yes, he's got a lot of young players playing, but those young players are gonna be successful for the long term, if you know what I mean. This money buying and, you know, all this money washing teams like City, Newcastle and Chelsea, it ain't gonna last, because at the end of the day, the Premier League was brought to be a fair playing field. You could have your fun now, but eventually that's going to have to stop because you're putting other teams to bankruptcy and the league is becoming less competitive. So when that happens, we are in a good position because we was following the rules of the Premier League and the Champions League. We don't overbuy. We don't spend silly money, but we buy it as we earn it. And a majority of the teams have to be doing that in the future as well. So watch this space, man. I think that's gonna happen when the leagues and the Champions League becomes less competitive, when the same teams are winning it again and again and again, becomes boring and people lose interest. They're gonna have to change their ways, and we're in a good position. So people just chill. We will get there. So the game finished 2-2. I'm not here to get mad. I was mad at the game, but you gotta forget about it. Look to the future. Don't keep looking back. That's what we used to do. Hence why we haven't moved from the back. So yeah, so I'm looking to the Crystal Palace game, which is on Monday Night Football. I hope to bring it if I could come back home early and we could watch it all together. So please, yeah, like, share and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this match reaction, and I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.